Hello viewers, hope you're all doing good and welcome to this video. In this video I'm going to show you how to install a Minikube in Arch Linux. I'm using Manjaro, which is Arch based, and even if you're using CentOS, Ubuntu or any other distribution, the process is going to be the same. So Kubernetes Cluster, you can use Minikube for development purpose. It's not gonna deploy multiple nodes, it's just a single node. You're gonna install Minikube on your host machine, and it's gonna create a VM called Minikube. Right. Um, Regarding bringing up the cluster, I've done 3 videos so far. The first one is how to set up a Kubernetes cluster using kubeadm command manually. On 3 node, 1 master node and 2 worker nodes, and then the follow-up video where I shown how to automate that using Vagrant. So we write a Vagrant file, and that will provision us the entire cluster with 3 nodes, 1 master and 2 worker nodes. Um, and I've also done a video on micro K8s where I shown how to install a micro K8s Kubernetes cluster with single node on Arch Linux, Ubuntu, and CentOS. So this is again a follow-up video in that series. I'm also doing in parallel the Kubernetes concepts, but this one is about how to set up a cluster, a single node cluster. You won't get any multi-node cluster, it's just a single cluster on a virtual machine. By the way, you can follow this process on any Linux distribution and it should work fine. Right. The requirement for Minikube is that you need to have a hypervisor running. So I'm going to use VirtualBox for that. I've already downloaded and installed VirtualBox on my host machine. So I've got VirtualBox here. At the moment there are no virtual machines. And you need to download Kubectl. In one of my video I mentioned how you can install Kubectl on your host machine. So I'm going to do that again now. So the requirements are just a hypervisor and Kubectl binary. So let's do that. If I go to my browser and search for install Kubectl, install and set up Kubectl, the first link, install Kubectl binary using curl, and select the Linux option, and basically have to execute this command. And then we're going to change the permission so that we give it execute permission, and then move it to use a local bin so that you can run Kubectl from any directory. So that's downloaded. Change mode +X Kubectl. I'm gonna move it to use a local bin directory. So now if I do which Kubectl, you've got that one, Kubectl version. Okay, right, we've got Kubectl. We've also got VirtualBox running. So now it's time to set up the Minikube. Again, I'm gonna go back to the kubernetes.io website, or search for install Minikube. Click on the first link, and we've done the hypervisor bit, we've done the Kubectl bit. Now we're going to go to the Minikube latest release. So I'm not hard coding anything here, so whenever you watch this video, maybe in 2 years time, if you go to this GitHub link, the Kubernetes GitHub link, they will have the latest. So pick the latest one, Minikube 30, and you'll have the link for the Linux installation. I'm going to copy that and paste it here. So let me clear up the screen. There are actually 3 commands. The one is similar to Kubectl. We are downloading the Minikube binary, we're changing the permission, and we're copying it to use a local bin. Let's do that one by one. So first let's download the Minikube. Right, Minikube downloaded, and it's in here. I'm going to change the permission, change mod plus X Minikube. I'm going to move it to user local bin. Right, that's it. And if I do Minikube version is 0.30.0. Right, so now I don't have any virtual machine, and what you can do is Minikube help to see what options you've got: Minikube, cache, completion, config, dashboard, lots of options. So what we want is start, status, stop, delete, and few other commands. Okay, let's do one at a time. Let's first start the cluster. Let's first check the status because we haven't got any cluster yet. Minikube status. So it says everything is empty. Minikube start. Right, Minikube start by default. I don't know what Kubernetes version it's going to download. Let's check what Kubernetes version it's going to set up. But if you want a specific version of Kubernetes, then you can pass this option: minus minus Kubernetes version 1.12.0. I think the latest is 1.12.2 or 3 maybe. So let's ignore that option for now and see what version it picks it up. So it's downloading the Minikube ISO, and it's going to start up the cluster. So it's going to take a little while, like 5 minutes or so, and I'm going to pause the video here and come back when it's ready. Right, Minikube start command is completed now, and you can see it says starting local Kubernetes cluster. So by default I think it's using version 1.10, which is slightly older. It's starting the VM, it's provisioning the virtual machine, and then it's downloading the Kube ADM, Kubelet, setting up certificates, connecting to cluster, and it has configured the Kube config as well for us. So we should be able to use Kubectl. Let's look at the virtual machine. So it has created this virtual machine, and if we look at the details, so it has done it has provisioned a virtual machine with 2 gig RAM, 2 CPU, 2 disk. Right. Okay. Although you can configure how much memory you want to give it to this VM and how many CPUs you want to give. For example, Minikube start minus minus CPUs 1 minus minus memory 1 gig 1024. So you can override CPU and memory. We will do that later. Okay, so let's try to run some simple commands. Minikube status. It's running. Correctly configured, pointing to Minikube. Minikube IP, that's going to give the IP address of the cluster. Minikube SSH or Minikube logs. That's the log. You can SSH to that Minikube virtual machine using Minikube SSH. So you are in the Minikube. You can run sudo docker images. So it has created all these images, pulled all these images, core DNS, dashboard, proxy, API server, controller, and so on. So I'll exit out of that. What else you can do is Kubectl version 1.10. You can look at the client version. The client version is the Kubectl binary that we downloaded from the Kubernetes.io instructions. So we've downloaded the latest version of the client, but the server version installed by Minikube is still 1.10. That's okay. I'll show you how to install a specific version later. Kubectl cluster info. Cluster is running. Kubectl get nodes. So as you can see, you will see only one node. Kubectl get nodes -o void. It's running Docker version 17.12. Status is ready. Kubectl get pods -all namespaces. So you can see all these pods running. These are all Docker containers, which I showed you a few minutes ago by logging into the Minikube virtual machine. Right, let's try and run a container. Watch Kubectl get all -o wide. Keep watching that. Kubectl run my shell --rm to remove the container once we exit out of it. -it --image. I'm going to pull the busybox image and I'm going to run the shell process. So as you can see, it's now creating the pod and the pod status is running. So it has pulled the image and it's running on the Minikube node. So within the pod and the container, I can do ping google.co.uk. So that's all working fine, and if I exit out of it, it's going to delete the deployment replica set and eventually the pod. The pod status is terminating, so it will be gone in a minute, and it's gone. Right, so how would you clean this Minikube environment? Minikube status, that's running. You can do Minikube config view, that's Minikube config, config list or something, or you could use the well-known kubectl config view command. The name of the context is Minikube, and we are connecting to the Minikube cluster. There's a user Minikube with certificate created. Okay, so Minikube stop. That's going to stop the cluster, and once it's stopped, let's look at the status. So Minikube stop, and if I look at the virtual machine, the status will turn to power off. Yeah, it's powered off now. And if I do Minikube status, it says Minikube is stopped. There is no cluster, there is no kubectl. Okay, so if you want to delete it, Minikube delete. And the virtual machine is gone now. One other thing you need to do is to remove, there is a .minikube directory that gets created when you install Minikube and when you run Minikube. So it contains the machines, the virtual machine certificates, and all those, the configurations, logs. This is the .minikube directory. So I'm going to remove that directory, Minikube. That's it. And sudo rm -rf user local bin Minikube. And if I do that, that's it. We've cleaned up our Minikube environment completely. But before that, I'm going to show you how to install a specific version of Kubernetes. Minikube start ---- Kubernetes version 1.12.0. I'll pause the video and come back when it's ready. Right, Minikube start command completed, and it has installed the cluster for us. Let's look at the status. That's running. Kubectl cluster info. Kubectl version -- short. As you can see now, the server version is 1.12.0. We asked Minikube to start specifically the version 1.12. And I also forgot to show you that as part of Minikube installation, when you bring up a cluster, it also installs the dashboard service. So to access it, just run Minikube dashboard. It's going to open up a browser. Okay, I think it has created a new window in the existing browser session. So I've got Chrome already open, so it should have created a new tab. So that's the Minikube VM running. There you go. So that's the default dashboard. All namespaces, overview, the daemons, deployments, and everything. If you go to nodes, you can see just one node, Minikube. And if you have followed my other video, how to install dashboard web UI in a Kubernetes cluster, you might have noticed in addition to dashboard, I also installed Heapster and InfluxDB. Heapster is for collecting the metrics like CPU stats, memory utilization, and so on. And InfluxDB is the storage engine where the logs, where the metrics are stored, and you should be able to see that in the Kubernetes dashboard. But the Minikube doesn't install Heapster or InfluxDB. That's why you don't see any stats. Usually, when you go to nodes or pods, on the top you'll see the stats, or here you'll see the CPU and memory stats, which you don't see it here. Right, okay, so I think that's all I wanted to show you. Let me quickly delete the Minikube environment. Minikube, you don't have to stop it, you can directly delete it. Machine is gone. rm-rf dot minikube, sudo rm-rf, use the local bin minikube, rm-rf dot cube. That's it. So we are back to where we were. Right, I think that's it for this video, and if you've got any questions or comments, or if something is not working right for you following my video, just leave me a comment and I will respond to you in the comment. And if you like the video, please share it with your friends, and please subscribe to my channel if you have not done already. And thanks for your time watching this video, and I'm going to see you in my next video probably. And see you. Bye bye.